4 teams, 4 years, 0 Super Bowls, 0 playoff wins. That is the Justin Fields resume heading into 2026. And yet, the Kansas City Chiefs, the most decorated franchise of the last decade, just traded for him. Not as a gadget player, not as a practice body, as a legitimate, starting quarterback in the National Football League. So either Kansas City just made the strangest decision of the Andy Reid era, or they know something about Justin Fields that the rest of the league completely missed. Back in March 2026, the New York Jets traded Justin Fields to Kansas City for a 7th-round draft pick. That is not a big price to pay. But here is what makes this trade interesting. The Jets agreed to cover $7 million of Fields' $10 million guaranteed salary for 2026, while the Chiefs are only on the hook for the remaining $3 million. So Kansas City essentially acquired a starting caliber quarterback for $3 million and a late-round pick. That is a calculated, low-risk move, and for Fields, it may be the most important trade of his career. Why did the Jets move on? Simple. They traded for Geno Smith, and once that happened, Fields became expendable. General Manager Darren Moogie was determined to find a trade partner rather than just cut Fields outright, and Kansas City came calling. The Chiefs needed insurance. Patrick Mahomes had surgery in December to repair a torn ACL and LCL in his left knee, the most serious injury of his 9-year career. They could not enter 2026 with no reliable backup plan at the most important position in football. Fields' numbers from his one season in New York tell a complicated story. He threw for 1,259 yards on a 62.7% completion percentage, with 7 touchdowns and just 1 interception. But he was only 2-7 as a starter, and the Jets won just 3 games all season. He threw for fewer than 55 yards on 4 separate occasions, including a season-low 27 yards in a Week 2 loss to Buffalo. The talent was not the issue. The situation was. On Tuesday, April 21st, Fields spoke to reporters for the first time since the trade. And he was direct about why he wanted to come to Kansas City. "I wanted to come here because of the Chiefs' culture, because of Pat, and to learn from him and Coach Reid. Just the winning, to be honest." That one sentence tells you everything about where Fields' head is at. He is not coming in with a chip on his shoulder, or a point to prove to his old teams. He is coming in as a student. Someone who recognizes that being around Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is a rare opportunity, even if Mahomes is currently in a rehab boot. What makes this even more interesting is that Fields admitted he and Mahomes barely communicated before the trade happened. "We of course knew of each other, but we really didn't communicate before coming here," Fields said. "I'm excited to learn from him. I'm already kind of picking his brain a little bit, and just observing how he goes about things in the meeting rooms, on the field and stuff like that." That is not the response of a quarterback who showed up expecting to take someone's starting job. That is a 27-year-old who has been through the grind of Chicago, Pittsburgh, and New York, and finally walked into a building with a different energy entirely. Fields made that exact point himself. Just having that culture. "Similar to when I was in Pittsburgh, just that winning mindset," he said. "Even me being here for 2 days, you can tell why that happens. Just the mindset of the coaches and players. The fact that 99% of the guys are here right now just shows you what kind of a team we're going to be this year." When asked about his role, starter or backup, Fields did not flinch. "Regardless of me starting or being a backup, I'm going to attack each day the same way. My goal is to get better any way I can. My mindset doesn't change." That is a mature, professional answer from someone who has clearly done the internal work to arrive at this point in his career without bitterness. Head coach Andy Reid did not wait long to make his position clear. Before the offseason program even officially started, Reid was already publicly defining Fields' role, and he did it in the strongest possible terms. "I mentioned down at the owners' meetings that we didn't bring him in to be a gadget guy, although he can do every gadget there is. But we didn't bring him in to do that," Reid said. "He's a legitimate quarterback, a starting quarterback in the National Football League, and we're lucky enough to have him here." That statement matters. Fields has spent parts of his career being used as a running quarterback or a situational piece rather than a true pocket passer. Reid is signaling that Fields will be developed, trained, and evaluated as a full quarterback, learning the offense completely, not just the plays designed around his legs. Reid also added, "I appreciate Justin and the way he has gone about everything so far. He's been great with everything. I do not know him as well as I will have known him once we get through a few weeks here, but I like from afar what I've seen. When Andy Reid, a coach with 13 seasons in Kansas City, multiple Super Bowl rings, and one of the greatest offensive minds in NFL history, says he likes what he sees, that carries real weight. That is not a polite press conference comment. That is a job description. Now, the part of this story that nobody can fully answer yet, what happens with Patrick Mahomes? Mahomes had surgery in December 2025 to repair the torn ACL and LCL in his left knee. It was the most significant injury of his career. He is currently attending the voluntary off-season program in Kansas City, doing rehab with a training staff, lifting, and sitting in meetings. He has posted videos of himself doing heavy workouts. He has publicly stated he plans to be back for Week 1. Reid's response when asked about Mahomes' timeline. He goes to the meetings. He can lift, do all that. Rehab. That's the phase he's in right now. We'll just see. Kind of play it by ear, see where he's at. He's doing great. But we've just got to be smart with this thing. The honest answer is, nobody knows yet. A torn ACL and LCL is not a 6-week injury. The typical recovery timeline runs 9 to 12 months. Mahomes was injured in December, which means even a best-case scenario puts his return right around the start of the regular season. There is a real possibility that Justin Fields starts Week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2026. And Reid has already said the team has full confidence he can handle that. Here is where the facts speak for themselves, both for and against. The case for Fields is real. His best statistical stretch came in Pittsburgh, a team with structure, discipline, and a winning culture, exactly what Kansas City offers. He is 27 years old, firmly in his athletic prime. He posted just one interception all of last season despite playing on a 3-14 Jets team with almost no offensive support around him. And his ability to extend plays with his legs gives Reid a dimension at quarterback that very few offenses in the NFL have. The case against Fields is also real. He went 2-7 as a starter in 2025. He threw for fewer than 55 yards 4 times in a single season, an almost historically low output for a starting quarterback. He is now entering his 4th organization in 4 years, which is a pattern that cannot be ignored. And he is being asked to learn an entirely new offensive system mid-career, under significant pressure, in a city that expects to compete for championships. Fields has the physical ability. That has never been the debate. The debate has always been consistency, and in Kansas City, consistency is the only currency that matters. The Chiefs are not in a rebuild. They are in a reload, and there is a critical difference. Kansas City finished 6-11 in 2025, missing the playoffs for the first time in years, and recording the worst record of Andy Reid's entire tenure. But they enter 2026 with 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft, number 9 and number 29. The 2026 NFL Draft begins on April 23rd, just days away. The combination of those draft picks, Fields at quarterback, and Mahomes working toward a return puts Kansas City in a unique position. They are simultaneously building for the future and competing in the present. Justin Fields is the bridge between those two realities. If Mahomes returns healthy in 2026, Fields becomes one of the most valuable backup quarterbacks in the NFL, experienced, capable, and developed under Reid's system. If Mahomes is delayed, Fields gets the chance to show an entire league what he can do inside a functioning, well-coached offense for the first time in his career. Either way, Justin Fields is no longer a question mark quarterback on a losing team. He is a Kansas City Chief. And for the first time in a long time, that means something completely different for his future.